First of all, I just want to take a minute and thank the fans. You know, Chris, what was the attendance?
106 and change.
Yeah, I mean, you think about this time of year, you know, rain like crazy all day long. You know, not the warmest day either, and we got 106,000 fans out there supporting us, and a good percentage stayed till the end. So can't thank the fans enough. Got an unbelievable environment here. You know, 2 years in a row undefeated at home. That hasn't happened at Beaver Stadium in 31 years. I think it's a pretty impressive statistic, being undefeated at home 2 years in a row. It hasn't happened in 31 years. Overall, you know, I thought the punt early in the game, you know, they muff a punt. You know, we get a turnover, you know, because of that. That didn't start out the game the way we would like it to start. Thought we were a little sloppy on special teams. Offensively, I thought we did a good job up front, which we were able to be balanced and have the running game going as well as the passing game. We were able to put up a bunch of points and then didn't turn the ball over on the offensive side of the ball. Those type of conditions makes you really proud as a coach to see, you know, from a fundamental standpoint, that we don't turn the ball over at all on the offensive side. Defensively, I thought we played a really good game. I think, you know, late there in the game we had held them to very few yards rushing. But in the second half, obviously, it just kind of leaves a little bit bad taste in your mouth on offense and defense. I didn't think we played up to our standards there at the end. You know, the fine line is you know, you second guess yourself all the time. Is when do you put the twos in the game? You leave the ones in, and people say, you know, you're running up the score. You put the twos in, and you give up 21 points there later, whatever it was. So, you know, I still not really completely sure when the right time is to make those changes. But overall, we were able to get a win against you know, one of the most historic and storied programs in the country, against a hell of a football coach. Got a lot of respect for Coach. He's won at every single level and everywhere he's been, and he's an unbelievable person. So we're fortunate to get a win. We're 1-0 this week. We're going to enjoy it for a couple hours. I'm not sure what time it is right now. We'll enjoy it for a couple hours, and then we'll focus on finishing our season off next week being 1-0 as well. So open up the questions.
James.
Almost didn't recognize, I got my guys over here who played for me at Kansas State. It's always great to have former players back in town. So the whole crew, unbelievable. Some memories flooding back into my head right now. Some good, some bad.
James, what has Saquon Barkley meant to your program these last 3 years?
You know, I think you guys have heard us talk about, you know, Saquon. Everybody talks about the yards and the touchdowns and the hurdles and all those types of things. But, you know, he's just, for the people that have been able to get to know Saquon Barkley, he's a better person. He's got a smile on his face every single day. He's a tremendous teammate. He's happier when other guys score than he is, you know, for himself. You know, he's been a model citizen off the field. He's killed it in the classroom. He's just been awesome. His mom and dad have been great. He's been great. He's been fantastic. So, you know, I'm very, very proud of him and his total development since he's arrived on our campus, and that's because of the hard work of a lot of people on our program. But most importantly, that's because of Saquon Barkley wanting to be great in everything that he does. So I'm really proud of him. Blessed to have coached him.
James, what did it mean to have Tim Shaw here today and around the team this week?
You know, he wasn't around the team a whole lot this week, but Tim's been very involved in our program. He's come and spoke to our team a number of times. Tim is one of the more amazing individuals that I've ever been around. You know, we knew he was going to go out and do the coin toss, and he told us that he's probably going to need some help getting out there. And you know, Brendan Mann and Andrew Nelson wanted to do that, and you know, the guy has got a smile from ear to ear. The stadium erupts for him. He's a special guy, and you know, we could all learn a lot, you know, from Tim Shaw and how he's handled unbelievable challenges, and he's done it with grace, and he's done it with dignity, and he's kind of shown the world, you know, how you handle, you know, difficult situations.
James, you mentioned the respect you have for Nebraska and Coach Riley. Were you a little stunned to be up that many in the first half? Did that exceed your expectations for your start?
No, I think we got a good football team, and I think we got a chance to score points and keep people off the field. On defense, 3 and outs, turnovers, things like that. I think we got a good football team. I didn't think we played as clean on special teams today as we've had in the past. But yeah, I think we got a pretty good football team.
James, I wonder if you could assess Juwan Johnson's day and his season.
Yeah, the exciting thing about Juwan is I think he's just going to continue to get better. You really start to see him play with his size right now. You're talking a wideout. He's 6'4", 230 pounds. He can run, and now he's breaking tackles and making one-handed catches. His catch radius is unbelievable. He's a guy you can depend on. He's another great teammate. He learned a lot. At home, he learned a lot from his brother being an NFL player as well. I couldn't be more excited about Juwan and his future. And that's in every way possible. We knew he had a great offseason. We're expecting him to have a big year. And I think we're going to go back and go through the cut-ups when the season's over and realize that he probably had a better year than everybody realizes. And the exciting part is, I still think there's a lot more left in the tank for him. And I think there's still a lot of areas that he can continue to grow and develop. And a lot of it's just from a confidence standpoint. But I think he's going to continue to be a problem the rest of this season and take that into the future as well.
James, did you guys take your foot off the gas, you think, in the second half? And is it tough? How tough is it to play with a 32-point lead after halftime?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We obviously didn't play as well, coming out of the half on offense or defense. And then we made some substitutions and continued to still not play as well as we should play. But again, I told the coaches in there, I don't think we played up to our standard in the second half. But once again, I'm fighting the tendency to not be happy and enjoy wins. There's too many miserable coaches across the country that aren't happy after wins, and same thing with players in the locker room and things like that. We're going to enjoy the wins around here. There's going to be plenty on that tape to learn from and to grow from. But I'll be the first one to admit we didn't play up to our standards in the second half.
Coach, speaking of enjoying those moments, senior day, a lot of the guys are trying to soak up all the moments they could before they left the field. For you, you got to watch this first class go all 4 years. What comes to mind when you're watching them enjoy their last moments at Beaver Stadium?
I was emotional before the game. I'm an emotional guy. Coming into the stadium, I see Grant Haley's mom, and she starts crying, and I'm like, I'm not going to let you get me, and I'm fighting it back myself. And then when all those guys are running out, and get a chance to say goodbye to those guys and give them a hug. It's emotional, but you're also really proud because these guys are prepared to go on and do wonderful things in life and be great fathers and husbands and businessmen and leaders or whatever it may be. And some of these guys are going to have an opportunity to go on and play in the NFL, which is cool. So, you hate to see them go, but I think that's what's also special about college football. You have them from 4 to 5 years, and you watch them come in and they think they got all the answers when they show up, and then they get humbled, and then they build their confidence back up, and they grow, and they evolve in so many different ways. And I think that's what makes college football special. You go into these kids' homes and schools, and you get to know them, and you build relationships, and you coach them hard, and you love them hard. I tell them all the time that it's my job that by the time they graduate, that I should want to hire them one day. They should be hireable material. And then the other one, which not all of them live up to, but I'd love for them all to leave here, and I'd be okay with them marrying my daughter one day. I'm not as ready for that one yet. But really, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying for these guys to take the foundation that their parents have laid, build on it in every way, academically, athletically, socially, and spiritually, and they leave and ready to go out, and they're going to do wonderful things. And I feel like that. And that's not just Penn State football. That's this entire community. You know, we take a lot of pride in our football program and the wins and losses, but we also take a lot of pride in just how we do things and the importance that we put on academics and the importance that we put on, you know, being, good citizens and giving back and community service and all those types of things. So it's what's nice is it's ingrained from everywhere. It's getting reinforced from every angle, all over campus and in the community, and from the lettermen and everything else. It means a lot. So I'm really proud of that.
Time for two more. Audrey.
James, a couple of special teams questions tonight. Brandon Polk back as the kick returner. Why'd you guys want to do that and do that now? And also, I didn't see Irv Charles out there tonight. Is there anything more there?
Not at this time. Saquon, we had some things that we were working through during the week, so we just thought it'd be better to have Brandon Polk back there. And then, Irv was not available this week. We'll leave it at that. Ben?
You mentioned Saquon in the past tense. Where are you in that conversation with him in terms of the future?
Yeah, the question was, if you didn't hear because you didn't have a microphone, was you mentioned Saquon in past tense because I was talking about the game that just ended in the past. And where are we at with that conversation in the future? I think I told you guys months ago, I told Saquon Barkley what he should do before the season started. We had a long conversation. I told you guys that. Somebody said, "What did you tell him?" And I'm not sharing that with you. That's between me and Saquon and his family. And what I try to do for all of our players is give them advice that I would give my son. If I feel like they should come back to school to finish their degree and have an opportunity to go on and get one more season of development and then go to the NFL, I tell them that. If I think that they should leave early now, then I tell them that as well. And to be honest with you, I'm very comfortable with that. Sometimes I hear people criticize players that leave early and go to the NFL. This is kind of the story I say all the time. If IBM came to our computer engineering department and offered a junior a $12 million contract, they'd be gone. I give these guys information all the time based on the entire picture. What their future is like, where they're at academically. Fortunately for us, we graduate so many guys in 3.5 years that it creates some flexibility. It also causes some problems, because I do think we have some guys that graduate early, have another year of eligibility, and from a football perspective should come back. But it's hard to tell those guys to come back once they've already graduated. So I told Saquon how I felt about it before the season started. The season is not over. I know we're bringing this up because it's the last game this year at Beaver Stadium. I understand that, but we had one conversation before the season started, and we haven't really talked about it since. And we'll have that conversation when the time comes.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Have a great night, guys. Appreciate it.